everybody. Today we are going to be discussing the Pacific Northwest Native Americans' religions or beliefs and about totem poles especially. The Pacific Northwest believed everything in nature had souls, or at least spiritual souls. They represented these creatures by building long, tall poles out of cedar bark. Well, actually, they weren't long, they were tall. Out of cedar bark that they cut down, cedar trees, which were one of their main resources for, and they carved. Each clan, like I explained in my introductory video, had a master carved person. That's what I'll call the person for this video, who carved out certain creatures and then painted with juice or other thick stuff. And those were outside of the longhouses, which I'll talk about in my next video. And they symbolized what clan they were in, once again, such as the bear, the wolf, the eagle, the walrus even, etc. And they were either standing really tall in front, or they were shorter but longer, and they were sticking out of the top beam of the roof. They used tools such as axes, knives, bow and arrow to cut these cedar planks and carve them. It took them a long period of time because first they needed to skin all the bark off of that. Then they needed to carve, and then they needed to paint. That would have taken them about 2 days for them to do that entire process all over. That's a long time, I know. But it all pays off, and then it would take a long period of time for them to carry that long, heavy pole out and put it into the ground, or lift it up and put it way on top of the longhouse. So that was a very long and complicated process. The animals on there it seemed like they weren't very realistic. They were the tribe's beliefs, such as an eagle was blue and then had wings sticking out right here demonstrating it on a human head, kind of different on an eagle's head. The beak was exceptionally large and square, a bit triangle on the edges, but it was mostly quite square. It was amazing. But most of all, the Pacific Northwest really did believe in a lot of cool things, and they were very productive. They played games, although it may seem they didn't have much time for games because they needed to cook and hunt and all of that stuff. They had plenty of time for games. The games they played were, several different games. Chasing each other, good old brothers and sisters. But that's what they did. That's what they did all the time. They had fun as well as their chores, building houses, doing all that. That does sound like a very complicated life, but they learned a little act of responsibility, which is good for everyone. Some people just don't learn to be responsible and don't do much. That's all for today. Please check out our next video about cedar trees and plank houses or long houses. Have a wonderful day.